Hey guys, Braith Anasta here. Have you ever wondered what you've gotten yourself into with a bathroom renovation? Have you been puzzled and confused with differing pricing and different quotes and the fluctuation in quotes from different companies? I know I have. Now today we're going to go behind the scenes with New Trend. We're going to have a look at the do's and don'ts of the renovation industry. All right, here I am with the owner of New Trend, Rick. How you going, mate?
Good, man. How are you?
What have you got for us today? What do you want to talk us through, and what do you want everyone to know?
Man, this is a perfect example of a bathroom that's gone wrong.
Yeah.
These poor owners bought this property on thinking that it was a luxury build. These owners are lucky enough to have 4 bathrooms in their house, so they don't use this bathroom.
Okay.
If I show you the quality in that bathroom, you'll freak out.
Yeah.
It's less than 2 years old. I just want to walk you through it, just show you some do's and don'ts, what we could have done different. Unfortunately for these guys, they're going to have to gut this brand new bathroom and start again. It is what it is, but we'll do it.
Well, it's pretty crazy. I mean, this has happened to me before, so I'm interested to see what the do's and, more importantly, what the don'ts are with the bathroom renovation. Let's have a look. All right, Rick. So from first glance, for someone who's inexperienced like me, I walk into a bathroom like this and it looks perfect.
100%.
But it's not.
It's not. No. Look, man, if you had the time, we could sit in here for hours and look at 4,000 defects. I'm not going to do that. But let's just say fair trading came here. They would make me or whoever did this bathroom rip this up.
And this happens a lot, right?
Happens a lot.
Okay.
And I feel sorry for owners. I guess it's human nature. Everyone wants a second quote, a second opinion. They want the cheapest thing done. But unfortunately, they're not educated and they don't know what direction they're traveling. Usually, a lot of the times, the cheaper quote means the cheaper quality. Standing in this room, I can just name things are jumping out at me. Yeah, I get what you said. It does look shiny and nice. The first thing that jumps out at me, there's no water stop angle here. That's the biggest 101 no-no that you do not do.
Okay.
That means that if this bathroom leaks, being on a second story, it's going to flood straight down into downstairs.
Well, that's a simple thing, right, too.
Simple thing that you just got to get right at the start. Why it was missed, the builder most probably opted for the $600 quote instead of the $1,800 quote.
Okay.
Unfortunately, in the industry, that $1,800 quote would have been, he's a rip-off. But
then it cost you down the track.
100%. 100%.
What else have we got?
Another major thing here, stress fracture in the tile. This bathroom's never been used. As you can see, this crack here, most probably because of poor gluing, and also the fact that they didn't continue the tile up in one piece. It should have been 2 pieces. So that should have been a piece and then 2 pieces there. Now they've put all the stress on that tile and that's cracked with movement. Even a basic one like this shower screen, I see this all the time. I don't know if you can you see how that's missing its gap?
I can.
It's wobbly. This joint here, you see how wobbly that is?
Looks like my one, actually. You'll be getting a phone call in a couple of days.
Man, this is because of the usual, the usual crap of, someone upselling a client saying, no, you don't need a glazier. Just get one off the shelf. It's $600 and, they retrofit it. Unfortunately, like I said, it's a shiny diamond product. It looks okay, but one day this is going to leak. It's going to fall apart because it hasn't been measured, installed, and silicon properly. And it could have been avoided just by our process would have been discussing what they wanted with the client, measuring the exact space, setting the angles where they needed to be, then contacting a glazier who would come to site, measure up the glass. Yes, it would be a little bit more expensive than $600.
But it's about quality, attention to detail, and then you got longevity, right, for a long period of time.
100%.
Instead of having to come back and redo your bathroom after a few.
100%. Another simple thing, but disgusting to me, the paint job. You can see the paint lines. Did they use good brands? Did they paint prep correctly? Who applied the paint? How many coats did they apply? This IXL light fan, what brand is it? Who wired it? How was it wired? These are questions we all need to know. I was in here earlier. I saw a major defect. The silicon joint here has disconnected from the wall to the floor. This is not your basic silicon cracking. This is major movement. Things haven't been cured, glued, applied properly. One thing that you probably wouldn't pick up, but someone like New Trend would, is the tile layout. If our tile I was game in here, they would freak out.
So you're pretty passionate about all this stuff, right? So you take this seriously, and with your work, you make sure that it's just perfect, right?
100%. Perfect to a certain degree.
Oh, as much as you can.
Much as we possibly can. And the good thing about us is we're prepared that we are tradies. Things are going to go wrong. But instead of dumping that wrong to the owner, we come with solutions. What can we do to fix it? Better it. Come as close to perfect as we can.
Love it. All right, Rick, before we start, plenty of protection around here on site. Talk us through that.
Braith, this is just, again, one example of just things that you could do differently. Like a lot of guys, a lot of tradies and competitive companies out there, they'll mention in their quote template, drop sheeting, and we'll have drop sheeting. So when I'm talking to a client, they'll say, well, he's allowed for protection. But this is the difference. When they say protection, they're going to go buy a $20 painter's sheet, lay it down, scratch your floor. It's going to accumulate dirt, you name it, whatever you can imagine. We just go that extra little bit, that as much as we can, protect the furniture. We buy foam meshing from the floor, which is it's expensive stuff. We put up just basic signs. I mean, this took me 10 minutes to print up and laminate. It's not rocket science. It's just doing that extra little bit, which is gonna make the site look good, feel good, protect the owner's furniture. I mean, why not? Why not do it? I don't get it.
Tell us more about bathroom renovating. We see some fancy designer websites, and you see fancy fixture packages. Do we need all of this, or what's your approach to it?
New Trend works with a lot of designers, architects, even other builders. The answer to it is, of course, yes, it's great. And if there's an open budget, 100%, let's get everyone on board. Unfortunately, in the economy at the moment, there's not a lot of open budgets, and everyone's cautious of what they're spending their money on. And this is where I feel that New Trend is a perfect fit, because our ethics and our experience with working with designers and architects, we just bring that to the table naturally, with or without their presence. So when it comes to tile layout, when it comes to fixture selection, when it comes to quality and quality control, workmanship, we just bring that to the table instead of a client having to engage a $2 or $3 or $4 or $5,000 designer, or having to go and buy an $8,000 tap, or whatever it may be. So not only can we bring the workmanship quality, but we can also bring the aesthetic look to what a designer would have brought it in.
That versatility, huh? What about New Trend? What does it mean to you? How would you describe the company?
So New Trend started as a partnership, which was Robert and myself, and it's got its advantages in being a partnership because it's a yin and yang partnership. Robert's, one of the best tradesmen that I've ever seen on the tools, and my passion is management, the book work, making sure it all runs. So with the two of us, I feel we've created a team where we just bring something to the industry that's not around at the moment. I feel that, the high-end builders and the big names that everybody knows, they're stuck on big sites, major developments. No one really cares about the mums and dads and the domestic side of bathrooms. And this is where we bring that quality control as a team.
What about, do you need a special license to trade or be a renovator?
100%. So you definitely need a bathroom renovator's license. And there are some insurances that come along with that. There's HIA insurances, which protect the owners. And this is where I feel sorry for a lot of clients, because unless you really, really do your homework, it's hard to find out a lot of these qualifications and licenses that the trades need. And you've got a lot of cowboys out there that,
I've seen a few of them too.
100%. And they bypass that, and by bypassing that, you're saving $2,000 here, saving $1,000 here, saving $1,500 here of lodging fees and council fees and all that kind of stuff. So they can afford to bring their quotes in cheaper, which with clients, they see the cheaper quote, they get the smile, they don't know the cowboyness that's gone on behind the scenes. So,
and again, like a bathroom, it can come back to bite you, right? Like
it always does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. What about budgeting? It's a tough one, this one, right? I've renovated homes and bathrooms, and for me, the budget always seems to blow out, right?
100%.
But what do you expect cost wise, and what's your thoughts on budgeting?
Look, budgeting is a big one for me, and a big one for clients. I think I touched on this earlier in the bathroom. Human nature, even us, you go to the mechanic, you get 2 or 3 opinions, you get 2 or 3 quotes. You don't just jump and say, yep, I'll pay for the most expensive thing. In our industry, I feel my opinion is that if it's not a cowboy and you're dealing with someone legit, someone like us, someone like Nutrient, quality comes at a price. And over the years, I've met the trades, and we've created a team that I like to work with, but it comes at its price, and it's usually the higher end of that industry. Again, like I said, with the cheap drop sheeting, that applies to every aspect of the renovation, in regards to management, in regards to waterproofing, in regards to drop sheeting, in regards to tiling, in regards to rendering. How did these guys come up with their quote? So
you can't cut corners in this industry, right?
100%. And I guess this is where clients get confused, because the magic trick in the industry is looking polished. So you got the fancy car with the sign writing, you come in with the collared shirt, you smell good, you know what I mean? And then, everyone's like, oh yeah,
salesman,
and
even the looks, like the bathroom, as I said, I thought this looks perfect, but it was far from it,
100%. And that's where I see a lot of clients coming undone. And it's hard for them to make that determination, because when you're looking at 2 fancy quote templates, and one price is a lot more expensive and one price is a lot cheaper, and they've both got the same line items, you naturally want to think, oh, okay, well, they're both offering the same service, but this guy's ripping me off.
Which isn't true.
It's not true.
What about if you don't have a budget for a full renovation to a bathroom? How would you approach that? Step by step or not?
No. My honest opinion, what I tell clients is, I meet with a lot of clients and we talk about the renovation, what they want to achieve. And a lot of people say to me, look, Rick, we read your reviews, we loved the meeting, we loved the presentation, but we just don't have the money.
Okay.
However, Bob or whoever it is down the road, he's offered the same thing at half the cost, or whatever it may be.
Yeah.
I opt against that. My honest opinion to them, I say to them, look, guys, if I was you, I would leave it as it is. Do not touch it, because touching it, you're going to make the situation worse than what it is. You're going to disrupt substrates, old waterproofing, and then ruining that, and then getting the cheaper, which I think would probably dodgier quote, or maybe dodgy is not the right word, maybe
quality.
The quality is not going to be the same, and you were better off with what you had, even though it wasn't a polished diamond, it was working. Now you're going to disrupt what you had. You might get that polished diamond like that bathroom behind me, but you can't use the shower, you can't use the shower screen, you can't, it's...
Now, because of not only that, but a lot of the work that you do, you've got some really good Google reviews.
Yep.
You must be proud of that.
I'm proud. I'm smiling because it came with a lot of blood, sweat, and tears. Again, so when I met my business partner, Robbie, before we were business partners, we kind of had that same vision of wanting to just change the stereotypical type tradie of, oh, that guy rocks up late, or he's not dressed nicely, or he's not respecting the house. So getting those reviews was just doing the basics right, being on time. If you're late, which human error, it happens, just let the client know. Respect the house. Drop sheet it as much as you can. Give 100% effort into the job, and everyone's going to be happy days.
I can totally understand, because as I said, this has happened to me. So I've renovated, had someone come in and do the bathroom not right. I've had to go spend more money. It's cost me double, get a new plumber. So you got to take time, but you're doing great things, Rick. I've learned a lot today. There's no doubt about that. And keep doing what you're doing, and hopefully everyone can learn a bit from this experience.
Thanks, Braith. I appreciate it. Thank you.